Greetings, this is Free Narrative Adventure. I welcome you to my recap of the 78th episode of Critical Role Campaign 3 Saga of Bells Hells. Or as I like to call it, what should I, actually I'm still trying to figure out what to call it. How about how about this? Results of Betrayal. Oh, oh, oh. Since this, I knew this episode would be primarily would have a significant focus on Ashton, who pulled that. Eh? My Ashton Gray or leggings are on. But anyway, uh, as we start the episode, we notice two things. First off, like when we look over there, it's that Sam seems to be in a what appears to be first glance a doggy costume. Then, as we see the other types of it, we notice another thing. Liam is missing. He will not be. He for some reason was not absent. He was absent for this episode, so don't expect much more on him. First off is the first sponsor is the new game. Hey, uh, game. That's not hat. It's a type of card game. Uh, what if you uh if you want to find out some of the rules and stuff, there during the break there of this episode there was a explanation of how it's played. So go uh, go find this video if you can, or and like if you're watching this uh, Monday or after, there'll be a link in the description. Mm, but it's a game about bluffing. There was a special protocol called uh, Rav Wiki slash that's not a hat. Also, they all, but that's not the only board slash card game out. As there are several other ones, including Hoverwood, Deck of Many, uh, the Deck of Many, looking, and also sponsoring this is the new video game Persona 5 Tactica. It is a kind of it's more of a strategy based. Also, there will be I forget when they're saying this is happening. It could be later today. They'll be showing a new one shot. Hopefully, I'll be able to get my recap of their uh, Mortal Kombat one shot later on. I had to pause because sometimes often I'll be working on whatever on whatever homebrew like if it's a class stuff, or sometimes like I'll be working out while I'm watching the episode when it's breaking, but the game style of that particular one shot was a format that I really can't work on anything else but on the same time. Anyway, there'll be a Persona one shot with GM, the GM being Liam. Not sure if they has. They think the joke would say it's the reason why he couldn't be in this one. He was too tired to figure it out, but more of that when we actually get to there. Anyway, also on display, they advertised the release of the Candela Obscura core rulebook stuff. Also, the release of the Circle of Needle Thread Session Zero, where they plan out their characters, and there'll be no Critical Role next week for Thanksgiving. Hey, uh, so let's see. And now there is a new on Nexus. There's a new Candela Obscura digital tools, and then and after another upcoming another upcoming what you call one shot the Red Nose Day for the Red Nose Day on November 28th. I'm gonna have to soon start cracking out more on more homebrew soon. And then we go to the annual Christmas sale. Or telling we talk to that. After which we see Matt goes, and now that let's get to tonight's episode of Critical Role. He says, so for some reason holding up a picture of Travis. Why I do not know. We go into the intro, as you can see, and then a brief description, a brief recap of presents. As you've probably seen those episodes already, and have already not mentioned to have seen my recaps pop potentially. Yeah, we need not get into it right now. Actually, real quick, I'll just say, after adventures in the Shower Teeth and stuff, they managed to get the find new information on Ashton's background, being the son of the leader of the Hishadi, having the Shard of Kamort instead of him, and the act of which destroyed Hishadi and flung him through a portal to Marquette as a child. They go and retrieve its counterpart, the to the bit of Earth Elemental Titan, and its mate, the Spark of Roshan, the Flame Emperor. After finally retrieving it and having a battle with members of the Ruby Vanguard, including two Royalans and a simulacrum of Ludinus, they retrieve the spark and teleport to Whitestone, where they make plans and stuff with a council in a Lord Council, and volunteer for a scouting and spying expedition, not just to Red Center, but to Rudis beyond, so they can get information needed to plan their future moves. Before that, they decide to use their acquired harness. I believe they called it the quintessence quintessence array. to to have one of Bell's hells. The original plan being for Fern to have this this absorb this uh, to give them a power they needed. However, while they were breaking, while they waited for the moment to absorb and stuff, made preparations. Uh, Ashton and Fern went off to the clock tower, and there Ashton asked if he could be the one to have. He went, Fern, apparently not actually wanting to have the spark, agreed. Though I guess we didn't actually know she didn't quite want it yet. Sorry about that. And point of order, they've been warned several times that it was a miracle that he. It was kind of a small miracle that he was able to contain the shard of Comort. Having both the shard and the spark nearby would be almost certain death. However, as they regathered and went to perform this ritual at the ziggurat, he and Fern ascended to the top to do it, and he absorbed the spark. In doing so, well, they alerted the others who came in. With a barrier up, they had to press all their efforts into healing and keeping Ash alive. At one point, it didn't succeed, and he exploded, only for his ring of temporal salvation to activate and reform his flung shards back together, bring him back alive, though expending the ring. And after many successful checks and a whole bunch of healings, they managed to do the impossible, and he seemingly has absorbed the spark. During this time, his this ritual, his arm, he was heating up, his glowing inside. It was like burning. Pizza was falling off, including his entire. Uh, um, I forget if it was left or right. I think it was his right arm. I forget which one it is, but now it was replaced by what appears to be a one of molten stone, like a very volcanic looking. After which, Fern kicked him in the face. The others confront them with this. They said, asking, "You?" It's the same word. You knew. Jeff. Ashton, after having stabilized, fainted again from being kicked in the face. So, and F.C.G. Kind of brings him back up with a fourth level cure wounds. So Fern is distraught and enraged. After a while, she goes, picks up Ashton's own hammer, and hits him in the face with it. Now it's a straight face roll, so she doesn't really do that much damage. Though just enough to get one. After which, she continuously, though, though she and quite frankly, I think the only even with advantage and guidance, the only reason she hit in the first place is he basically let it. After which, she continued slamming the hammer into the ground beside his head, screaming all the time. Apparently, she's attempting to break his hammer. Uh, of course, having this being a magic item is much far. Well, a hammer itself is very resistant. A magic hammer or magic, it makes it nearly indestructible. And she again only has a negative strength modifier. In the end, F.C.G has to go underneath and go to her and catch the hammer with it in his hand to get her to stop. uh, Fern ends up walking away with the harness. The rest are kind of still somewhat in shock and anger. Lana is very disappointed. They betrayed us. Why did Ashton betray us? Yes, given that her recent reignite attachment to Delilah, and and what happened in the past, this action really shook her up. Imogen casts detect thoughts on Ashton. The first thoughts were just him repeating 1 week. All it took was 1 week. A deeper look in reveals his thoughts are of his hubris and blame and trying to project responsibility. In the 1 week since he found out about his past, how his extent of his past with the Hishari and what happened, all it took was 1 week for him to try to do something desperate to sort of try to in a way of connecting with them. He is kind of very ashamed, and you can just tell by the voice that that Taliesin is using. Like no, it has none of Ashton's usual bravado. And he ended up just doing, even after hearing what happened to them, and that this is this, he just does the same thing as the Hishari did, and nearly ruined everything. They as Fern and I think Chetney head down. They pass Alora, who asked if the danger has passed, and Fern quickly responds, "No." Not sure if she's just messing with him or if there's but uh, you they talk about back to at top of they were talking about how what he experienced and how he actually exploded because of this. He points out he's used to being broken. As it's happening, he can sort of sense the earth around. It's like it's breathing with him. He has a new awareness of his element. Suddenly, inside he feels another heating up sensation. It's grows, and it grows. It's becoming more painful. He starts coughing, retching even, and finally, coughs out in a glowing orange crystal. So, apparently, this it seems as if the spark is reborn. It looks a little different, but stuff now, but it has the same feel to it. That's when we learned that this little stunt has definitely has consequences future. We have no idea what his if he has any new abilities, but we do know that Ashton has a permanent -2 to his Constitution and score. He's lost to. This is a serious blow. Like for no matter what class it is, you Constitution really should never be your dump stat. For barbarians who are the tanks of the group, absorb damage even if a lot of it through rage reducing certain damages by half. They still are the ones absorbing most damage. -2, like to his constitution, will also doesn't isn't just with that. Uh, as you know, DD, every time you level up, you gain new points, which is a roll of your hit die to determine, plus your Constitution with a -2, which is means he's now got one less plus your Constitution modifier. With a -2 to the score, that leading to him having one less modifier point. That's going it'll make it as that retroactively also makes all the other ones like every level up advance in health when he levels up -1. He's now got like 11 less HP. Apparently, we discovered that according to Matt, the spark ended up rejecting him. It triggered some of his body stuff, but it did not end up. But it ended up reforming and he does not have the power of the spark of Sean. His molten stone arm, is now cooled into like a blackened volcanic stone. He does not seem to have any ability with fire right now. Though the fact that his arm looks like that and stuff means that something else could have triggered. Lana is very much trying to resist the temptation. Like she's trying to hold Delilah back right now, sort of like holding herself to her chest, like the feeling stuff. With Delilah sort of egging on to like, Lana feels like she's angry enough to actually kill Ashton. And Lana's, I think, trying to egg him on to play upon her current weakness, the betrayal brought. And to also take some drastic actions. With Delilah apparently now set her sights on the spark of Rashawn. Maybe to absorb it like they did that Fae Stone. A lot of bad people are on their way to Bassaris. Personally, I feel like if she even tried having Lana absorb that stone would probably destroy her before Lana could destroy it. And according to her, to last episode when she had her little fight with the castle ghost, according to that, she doesn't have anyone else. Like I thought she might have like 7 other warlocks or something, or 6 other. Some of her 6 other. But apparently it's only down to Lana. She's her only. And Lana ends up having to make a wisdom saving throw. Oh, like Mercer rolls a 16, which is a success. Though I got a feeling it was like very close. Oren walks away. He just was saying that stoically. Of course he was. They don't want to have him talk too much. It was Liam not there. And Ashton is like the first one to admit. The others are quick to also agree that what he did was stupid. He's just telling her like stuff like that. He wanted his family stuff like it. This is somehow like the things with the shards and the spark. It's a connection to his family, which had only knew. The only memory he has of them is of their destruction. While he was unconscious, apparently, while this was all happening, he had a vision. He met himself, a version of himself where the Hashari was not destroyed and it went perfectly. He's a family, and according to him, that version of him was not a good person. I was not good. He admits that he was not smart. He can see now the perfect clarity that the Hashari were not smart. They were what they deserve, and he was not smart and trying to follow them. Especially with a bunch of smart, as he said, a bunch of smart people saying not to. But he wanted someone else to blame, someone uh, else to yell at, like to see what he was robbed of as a child with the past stuff. He kind of he realizes his illusions right now. Interesting thing to note. That little look behind the scenes. Uh, Now that I have an opportunity to watch one live while we're recording notes, taking notes. Live doesn't actually have a time thing unless you see one in chat at that exact point, and they're and they only show up so often. So you gotta look at your clock, write a general time slot, then go back and write and replay the certain spots to do that. And sometimes, yeah,
Let it go. It happened. It's done. Stop it.
How do you even do that?
It's a glitch.
Yeah, it's done. I don't know.
there's the voice.
I don't know if people learn lessons.
Anyway. And at one point, after which F.C.G asked, still, angry, what do you care about? Like, do you actually care about any of this? Like, us? Do you care about us, yourself? The gods are trying to protect? Anything? He points out they were about to go, they're about to go on a mission that could decide the fate of Exandria. He also says that you just decided to do this because you got power hungry. He said, I wasn't, and actually, quick defense, I wasn't power hungry. So Aesop and Richard actually points out all his talk about him being in the role of hero now and stuff there. And he asks what he did it for. Like, he didn't do it for Bell's hell. This is for Bell's hells. For them. Who did he do this? What did he do this for? Apparently, he thought it was his destiny to do this stuff. After it comes up, like slightly calming down, they have to figure out. Imogen brings up what they're going to do with the shard. Eventually, she decides to just use a mage hand to pick it up so it doesn't because it won't take fire damage, and just they just walk down. Wait, that made me a little head. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. Uh, F.C.G also points out that Fern is hurt right now. Like, what you did hurt her. Uh, Eventually, one thing uh, Ashton mentioned is that F.C.G reminds Ashton of himself. Like, trying to get into religion like what he does. Trying to get into, like, just get into something. And they do have to admit that they can't leave on their mission today. They have it'll have to postpone the mission a day or two to get their shit together. And they decide they gotta go find Fern. Chetney, who went with her. Percy, sees who's at like the foot of Ziggurat, sees Fern coming with Chetney following behind her. Asks like how did he reads the mood and actually manages to shut up. And Chetney asks Fern if she's okay, and she is not. He asks what she's planning to do with the harness. Fern says she kind of just wants to go and just destroy the harness or all the good it's done so far. But we find out the real reason Fern is so upset. It's not just that Ashton almost died. She feels personal guilt. She agreed to go along with Ashton's plan. She didn't really want to try to absorb the shard, but now she feels good. Like if she agreed to it, they would have gone, and it would have been safer for Ashton and for everyone. She naturally has a fire affinity. She was afraid that the spark would turn her into one of the bad ones, like the power would corrupt her too much. She's already a chaotic neutral entity. Her so I guess it's understandable.
It was really dumb.
Gosh, I feel like we're getting somewhere. I just really appreciate you trusting me with this conversation. Can I just try and reach for the harness and just kind of gently?
Make a sleight of hand check.
Wow.
I'm not terrible. Oh, okay. Ah, 23.
What's your passive perception?
19.
19. In this emotional state, Chetney has your attention, and whatever rage and sorrow and rage burgeons. Whisk it by.
Thank you so much. Let's just put this down.
Chetney, Chetney asked her what she thinks could have happened if she had actually been the one to take in the shard, the spark. They got me doing. In both our defenses, it does take a form of a crystal, so and does he does start trying to get her to feel better. Even with his message initially seemed questionable, like saying, "You effed up." Basically, he's trying to get her to come to grips with what happened. Then,
Biggest wolf that has ever lived. And
that's it.
nobody for hundreds of years. And now I am the greatest wolf that has ever lived. And all it took was seizing that opportunity. And here's the thing, there are so many people that would use that shard for horrible reasons. And I know that yours would at least be 50-50 horrible reasons. That means 50 really good reasons. Plus, we would help you.
It just like I say, his methods are in logic is interesting. She is very shocked that she didn't think the shard would destroy Ashton. Even if the ring saved him, if he didn't, Ashton would be just gone right now. And that's what's she agreed. She just blindly agreed, saw the opportunity to get out of this and as a result, one of her closest friends nearly died. Nearly was permanently taken from her. Taken from her. They talk more. Chetney ends with continues to saying, that she could talk with him whenever she likes. You need to get more stuff to test.
Oh no.
You want to break something.
Here.
Yeah.
You know the fancy guy that lives here? He's got a bunch of fucking windows.
Yeah.
He's also super rich.
I break a window.
We're still in the tunnels
Still in the
underneath the castle.
There's two guys with plate glass.
Just walking by.
Where's this new one go?
Yes.
How about
Anyway, then we move on to Lana, who is often often tells on her own. She kind of loses control in her anger and stuff, and unintentionally assumes her form of dread, which again is starting to look very much like Delilah.
Yeah, for now, yes. Thank you for letting us use your ancient temple of doom.
It's not mine.
All right.
We won't be leaving tonight.
We're gonna need to.
I fucked up because I'm an idiot.
He
Hi.
fucked up because he's an idiot.
Pretty fucking bad.
Oh. Standard fare for group of heroic cruxes in our future plans. Wondrous. Very well.
Well, we gotta remember, she used to work with Bell's Hells a lot. I mean, no, she works with Lock's Walking out. No, she's kind of used to this sort of shit.
That's probably a good call.
Here, let's just get you back to your quarters and
I think I could use some air, actually, if that's okay.
walk with us, Orm.
Oh, right.
Do you have anything to fucking... Okay.
He's just doing handstand push-ups. And like,
Yeah.
Very passive aggressive.
Yeah. Stoically, he follows suit.
Oh,
God damn it.
Windows computer repair, I think it says.
that wig.
Amazing.
Involved today.
Computer repair. I did care.
F.C.G.
That's something, and they all agree is I bet there might be more a little later for some though. Ashton needs to find out a way to fix this. And the this is shooken bells hells, and Ashton needs to figure out how to do. And Ashton kind of apologizes to F.C.G for all the grief he's been given over his newfound religious beliefs and stuff. He's sorry for giving him such a hard time. He was really just scared. Like you think the way F.C.G was going, he was already even before this had a thing of uh, uh, point of putting others before himself to a point of self-destruction. Now he's working for this great deity and stuff. He was afraid that F.C.G might die for the change bringer. Imogen goes searching for Lana, but does not find her in the castle. She tries to cast a sending spell to Lana, but the magical interference once again prevents her and takes a little bit of psychic damage.
The kind of northeastern side of the castle, the first set of beautiful stained glass windows that depict the founding of Whitestone here amongst the Alabaster Sierras come scattering into the stone.
That was good. That was good. You gotta get a little more hip into it.
You can see Pale Guard are starting to rush out, and as soon as they look to you, they all stop.
What?
Nothing. Just making sure you're safe.
Oh yeah, making sure
Yeah.
you're safe. Yeah, bitch.
Oh. What? Do you have something you want to say, or do you want to turn around and walk away? Turn around and walk away. Thank you.
Make an intimidation check. With advantage.
Awesome.
With advantage.
With
Okay.
advantage.
That second one. Ooh. Okay. Both are actually really good.
How many times did you roll?
22.
Dang.
There's now like 6 of them there. Like they have spears and swords kind of out from the sound of shattering glass. They're kind of looking confused as the one seems to have some sort of authority that was looking at you originally goes, well, you heard how they're preparing for the mission for the Lord and Lady.
This is how we prepare.
Right. Back to your stations. And they all kind of look confused and begin to disseminate back into the castle.
Uh-huh. It's good.
Did you feel better?
Not yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Fern's just still not quite not done with the treasure. Just wants to go just take a walk by herself to clear her head and stuff. Before she goes off, Chetney tells her not to leave, not to go, but make sure she doesn't try to leave Whitestone or Bell's Hills right now. Oh. They hear another window break and see the culprit is Gwendolyn Dorolo. I'm not sure if she was already like this or they were just a bad influence. I'll wash it myself. Uh, anyway, uh, Fern goes off for a walk and eventually arrives at the temple of the Raven Queen there, the Raven's altar. Fern tries doing actual praying. And uh, she's wasn't sure. She's scared what she could turn into, into uh okay there. Anyway, uh, Johnson, she decides to leave a little offering. Like a lot of people, like in these temples, instead of just leaving like financial, will also leave something that means something to them as offering. Decides to leave the postcards she was receiving from her parent. hmm And as she leaves and she exits the temple,
Open air, the cold chill of the open air of Whitestone. As you inhale, you hear the sound of nearby a raven caw. Towson, if you don't mind.
Oh, don't even.
There you go, great.
There we go.
Perfect.
My voice has been scratching.
I know, worries, you did great. That's what I wanted.
I love that you just
Been so long.
flashbanged her with.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. How did you know?
That one you
Sure.
put out of his misery.
You gotta put the silence on that bitch.
You glance over, and you see what looks
Somebody
to be.
shot that raven.
You see
and also she sees that this interesting thing: a young adolescent raven who seemingly only has one leg and kind of hop around there. Then suddenly, two larger ravens come over and bring it some berries for it to eat, which before they fly off together. We then go to Lana, who goes to the Parchwood. She's trying to very hard to resist return to what she was after she was resurrected before she met Imogen. And while she's trying very hard to not revert, there's a cover and bringing at the brink of that stuff. She does reflect that Whitestone has greatly changed since she was there before, when she used to just skulk around uh, uh, the Parchwood originally. The city has grown. It is far more lively. A beat of hope, as you might say. And she is talking aloud, saying, "Why they kind of decide that he's basically being a child was being a child." Mm. And the line of comments, funny thing about children, they reflect what you they reflect that which is within you, but not what you expect. And she thinks that Ashton was just is clearly destined for stupidity. He's still got caught in the idea of trying to make a difference. And uh, going back to the others, they talk about like what they could do, like, and basically they can hide from what happened. Or they could try and make up, or just jump into the bushes, something like that. Like, this they're talking to Ashton, and they say the big thing is I think this is Chetney talking to, yeah, this was Chetney talking to Ashton. He's saying, well, I bet you can either hide from what you did, you could make up, or you could just go jump in the bushes and wait there. He said, punishing yourself is good for soul, but don't drag others down. But make sure whatever you do, it doesn't drag others down with you. No, wait. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Chet. This wasn't Chetney. This was Ashton talking with Percy, who of course has his own share of mistakes. He's just looking at the destruction of the windows and stuff. He says that, and he tells him a good thing to do is surround yourself with better people better than yourself.
And surrounding yourself with better people. And he looks out to his red-horned daughter as she is now scanning for any other piece of glass that can be broken next to Chet.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it.
That was my wife's powder room.
I don't imagine you'll need anything, but if you do,
Basically, Ashton says he owes Percy something. Uh, Imogen continues searching the tunnels for Lana, and as the day continues, night falls, and all of them prepare for the evening's rest.
staying inside.
Okay.
Chetney's just up in his room, flossing.
Just by himself.
Why can't I get
I'm
it?
walking.
Naked floss.
It's a whole different dynamic of physics there.
Yeah.
How do these kids do it?
How do you get it between? No.
In front of the mirror.
The
One second. I gotta do this real quick. Anyway, mm, uh, anyway, Lana, anyway, Sorry for that. Note to self: look at my recording thing. Figure out how to only get volume for a headset, like with a mic. Anyway, Lana and Fern are still out. Out. They have not returned to the castle yet. They try to tell her like. Anyway, they're still. They go tell Alora that they will be waiting and stuff, and Alora says to just tell them when they're ready. Hey, uh, the question is, when will the party be ready? Uh, One of the key things is that the group's trust in each other is kind of broken in some ways. Keep trying to remember what this was about. Oh yeah, so keep talking about like if there's a time limit to how much of it, and the thing is that yes and no. They kind of need it right now, but also they don't know if they really need it right now. That's the point. They don't have the information they need. Mm, where the frick was I? Uh, okay. There's this. Trinity then tries to use grim psychology. Uh, they take out the spark. Of course, taking fire damage while they're doing this. A little bit of fire. And Trinity uses grim psychology on it. And has a vision of like to see if it will show just Ashen's gullet or something, or it's still be considered and it still has the history of the original spark. I guess it's more about the energy of it, not the physical form. They see roaring flames. A king. He sees a king of fire. Spirits walking along, not in forms that as recognizable today. For this was the predates the arrival of the gods and the mortal life they created. There is a memory of fighting beings of light and darkness, shadow. it being chained, imprisoned under the earth. And stuff. It remembers flying in the being released, going up, seeing the sky there, being between two mountains, one of the earth and one in the sky. Then nothing.
This one's not my fault.
No,
I'm
no.
calling it. This one is not my fault right now.
Does anybody know where Fern and Laudna are?
Yes.
Where?
Well, I know where one of them is. Fern went on a walk.
That's not a place. That's a verb.
They were headed towards the center.
That's not a word. That's just mumbles.
Listen, when you've had as much of this courage as I have, I'd like to see you be very loquacious.
Would you like to go find?
And Chetney's into the liquor.
He's just
And then
doing the same thing Fern was.
Here, if it makes you feel any better, I will flip my coin and I'll ask the change bringer, is Laudna safe?
Yes.
Flip, 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 flip. Slow motion, slow motion, slow motion, slow motion. Glint of light, glint of light, glint of light. Huh?
It's a broad question.
It landed on its side.
Did you say all right or safe?
I said safe. Currently.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is that side?
And Chetney is wondering, asks Ashley if he's planning on leave or something. And he actually thinks maybe whether or not it might thinks it could be a good deal for Ashton to leave. He said, you could have heard Fern. Like, besides the emotional hurt she's going through, you could have actually caused serious damage to Fern. And right now, Chetney does not trust Ashton. Not sure any of them do right now. But Chetney comes out and says it. And quite frankly, and Ashton doesn't trust Ashton right now. So he does ask what Chetney did before he was able to control his curse, his lycanthropy. He said, I hurt people, I killed people. We then flash to Lana, who is still talking to Delilah in her head. He said, and she asks, is love worth the pain? And it's surprisingly, what might say, though, given her history, Delilah said, Delilah says yes. She went to great lengths and troubles to bring back Silas, to keep him with her. Though it, There, she wondered, like she's saying, like it, it is painful, but it is, but she did find it worth it. It Lana says all she could think about is the people around her and the people they've lost, like Angela, there, Lana's m- mother working for the enemy. Orem losing his husband and father-in-law. Uh, Adela says, "You gotta be strong enough to fix yourself. Fix ourselves. We must be strong enough to fix ourselves. Only the weak just wallow in their misery." Just honestly, this is shockingly good advice from the evil bitch. Uh, Lana it seems a lot more skittish right now, and still a slight seems out of it. And she decides to go back to her old cabin, her old cottage, and make Ashton a doll. The wording was kind of ominous. And later, Sam does voice also like I was thinking, like she did refer to Ashton as a child again. Like, I don't like hurting I don't want children to hurt. We enter break. We get into the explanation of how to play. That's not a hat. We get ads for the Fable Maker tarot cards. Along with other board games such as Queen by Midnight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There is the trailer, which explains some of the gameplay mechanics of Persona 5 Tactica. An ad for unpaid minis from WizKids. There's something for the Candela, an ad for the Candela sort of rulebook. An ad for the Christmas sale, like what involving Sam pretending to be a blog and social influencer, including adding a promotional code, which they immediately comes out and said, "Wait, we don't have one." So, which kind of apparently peeves Sam off. Um, then they announce what's going on with their sale and stuff. It's between November 20th and December 1st. We have their merch alerts. And their a quick ad for their Red Nose Day. Mhm. There is the trailer for Candela Obscura, Circle of Tide and Bone, and then a quick ad for the Candela Obscura soundtrack. A trailer for or excerpt from Midst, specifically concerning a character known as Mop Weep. Uh, the ad as they always have the quick ads for the Critical Role soundtracks, like for the music they play in the background. and it ends with their ad for their Twitch subscription in the form of Marisha's unboxing. We then go to exit break, and we go to Fern, who's walking through the woods. She has used decides to sleep in there and makes use plant growth to make a nice shelter. This time, it is far more resembles her bedroom back in at Nanamori's place. The Ligament Manor. I forgot. I for a long time forgot what that was. What Ligament Manor was. Maybe it looked like a bedroom there. There's a uh, uh, both Ashley and Marisha roll to see if they just happen upon each other in the woods. A roll is d20. If they get within 3 of each other, they will meet. I think uh, Ashley rolls a 12 and Marisha rolls a 2, so they do not. They can hear stuff. They describe a lot of going through the woods, like her body slinking along, like sort of elongating, growing as she stalks ahead, like wolf-like. Uh, she can hear howls in the distance of a wolf pack.
The surrounding nature here within the bowl of the Alabaster Sierras. You continue to stalk and shift. You hear the distant howl of one wolf, the hunting packs out for the night. You
Howl!
You got it. You got it. That's what wolves sound like here. It's canon.
Unfazed.
I'm taking it.
The Grey Hunt's really kind of fallen back a bit over the past couple of years.
Oh my god.
Look, Goldrick wasn't good at everything.
Oh, God.
In
Mm-hmm. Um, as she gets closer to her destination, she gets a whiff of old charcoal and finds that the cottage she lived in after she was resurrected the first time has been burned down. Mm. The Lila says it can be rebuilt, though Lana points out they don't. She doesn't feel like she has enough time at the moment to do that. She goes. She sees it's slightly been vandalized to it, like there, and including one thing that says F White Stone, like just general like carved like a carved general punk uh, 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 a general like hooligan graffiti. That's among the more personal insults her. She goes to these carved out curses and stuff, and it's like this would be good. And thinks that with the curse words on it, it'd be good material for to use for the doll. At this point, that Sam asks, when you say make him a doll, do you mean actually make him into one? And I was thought that I will say that thought did cross through my head before. Where the frick was I? she starts to carve carve out the pieces of wood under this. She scavenges the remains of her cottage for any materials she can use. She finds a chipmunk skull to use for the head. This is going to be very similar aesthetic to Pate. Then once we complete, she wonders what to do with the doll. The line says like you could give it to him as something to remember you by, like you can leave it there. You can keep it as something to remember him by. Mm-hmm. You could use it to trade it for something else. Clearly, Delilah has her sights set on the spark, as if that doll is worth a piece of a freaking titan that still has power. And at one point, Delilah suggests they just go up and take the stone. This spark. But Lorna is not having it. Like, it seemed kind of like a foolish thing to do, and all things like he just did something very stupid. Why do the same? Hmm. But then she starts going to rant. I say, "Well, she's when why did not she had a lesson when it came to that phase stone when she accidentally when the lab forced her to absorb it. Why didn't she? And she wondered why Ashton didn't learn from her mistake. She clearly she's thinking of herself as a parent with Ashton as a child. So it's sort of what she says. Not now. And they talk about acceptance versus retaliation. Like do you just or do you do something? And then she asks, well, she decides to to sleep in the burnt down cottage night and asks if Delilah would hold her. And goes sleep, curls up in a corner, and goes sleep with the shadows starting to stretch around her to cover her. And then it is now we flash forward to the morning. Imogen immediately goes knocking on F.C.G's door and saying, worried, Lana never came back, and she wants F.C.G to use a find person spell on her for her. A find creature spell.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Well.
We should take this opportunity, though. And I'll use my hybrid transformation.
Oh yes, like Chetney. Real quick, Chetney does confront Ashton and said, "You're still here. Good, then there's still hope to things like actually stay to do face this problem."
Let's see what that new arm can do.
Now? Really? Now? Fuck.
Oh shit!
Listen, when you get new shit in D&D.
Yeah,
you
you know,
test
yeah,
it out.
Right now?
All right, both of you roll initiative.
I just want to see what it does.
All right. No, I'm in.
Ashton's just watching. Orange just watching on the side because he is the player. Mm. Uh, uh, he's in changes the world form and takes a or Ashton rages and goes in for just a simple punch with the arm. It's strong, but maybe not. Doesn't seem to do any. It does seem strong, but not sure it's really doing any extra how much extra damage. I think it does like 8, and I think he's raging. So with the rage, it seems normal. Then he tries to wield his hammer with his new arm to swing at him, and it does hit Jetney.
That's so cards. Not that it matters. Okay, 16, 26 to hit.
Yep.
2d6 times 12, unless anything activated.
Times 12?
No, 2d6 plus 12. Sorry.
That's what I was looking for.
You know what I'm doing right now.
Now
You're
we're in
welcome.
business.
17 points of damage.
I will
17 points of
remember.
damage. Reduced to half.
I changed my mind.
Well, actually, no, it's magical damage.
Oh, then it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, because it's only blood or whatever.
Or it's a magic weapon.
The first one would have been
Well, no,
reduced to 4.
Uh, it's still no, it doesn't seem to be giving you any benefits so far. And Matt mentioned something about the shard not being fully awakened. So, as I kind of suspect, it did say it looks like it didn't wasn't quite for nothing. Ashton may not have gotten the power of the spark of Rasha, but he may have actually he started activating awakening the shard of Kamort within him. Um, uh, Lana and F.C.G are going, trying to get, and they start heading into town, and that's when they get a searching for Lana with his and he hasn't got anything because she's over 1,000 feet away, but he suddenly gets a blimp. Hmm.
Just a little ways to the southeast of where you are.
All right. I got her. She's okay.
Yeah, great.
She's moving.
All right.
She's got a limp.
What?
No, that's just. No, I can't feel that. Let's keep going.
Nope, I can't feel that.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Ashton, Orem, and Chetnigo actually end up finding and meeting up with F.C.G and Imogen on the way.
Just like push out my amazing tits.
Pull them out of
And
your
then
marsupial
start-
pouch.
Yeah. All right. And then start walking up.
All right, just as you all charge past the pale guard guarding the front of Castle Whitestone, you emerge down the initial walkway and down the path.
Yeah, I always wondered about that pouch. Like, is it just like there? Cause like a what's the thing in their fur? We know that in both character design, like she also says like from her front and like abdomen region. She in both her designs of her character, she has a corset. So how she getting past? I don't. The gag isn't that well thought out if you think about it. Yeah, when they met before and stuff. Uh, at the edge of the woods, they could sort of see Lana and sort of up ahead, pacing in and out of the woods, like trying to figure out whether they. And when they call her, it's like Lana, she makes up. She, well,
I make eye contact with Imogen, and I turn and I run.
Oh! We got a runner!
Okay, you're all giving chase?
Yes,
Yep.
100%.
All
I'm
right.
gonna click my boots of speed. Double by.
London, what's your speed?
30.
30. With your boots of speed, what are you?
80.
So while the rest of you are,
In her
are
head, she's gonna hear, stop running.
No.
you're keeping pace. Now it is in the middle of the forest, considered difficult terrain, so half speed, but you also know it pretty well. But most of you are keeping pace. Ashton, you're gaining a little bit of ground.
I'm maintaining.
Okay, you're maintaining in the crib, but the wolf
Form's
is in
just
the hunt.
fucking flying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You, wolf in the hunt. You close the gap rapidly.
I go for like the shin tackle where you grab and roll like you're wrestling a gator.
Alrighty. Athletics versus acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, those awesome stats.
Yeah, there is real bad. I'm gonna laugh if this is a nat 20. Nope. 15.
23.
Woof, your legs are pulled out from under you, and both you and Chetney go into a soft roll.
Fuck's sake! What are you running for? Everything's okay.
Is it though?
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Plus, Imogen's gonna fucking kill us if you leave again.
You have to give me away.
Anyway, she wants to keep away Shane because she wants to stay away from Ashton, specifically because she wants to kill him. Imogen goes up to see what condition she's in, and here's what she wants to do. And she looks behind her and uses her telepathic abilities to Ashton and orders him to stay back. Lana says that Delilah's influence is strong at Whitestone, where she ruined Lana's life. He knew. It is mentioned that it's clear that Ash knows he's dead, that he's done wrong, and Lana just doesn't understand why he did it. She has already had serious trust issues in the past, as we've seen. And Imogen quickly takes. She decides that she's reverted. I haven't seen since we're fighting Delilah for her. Just from this.
Orem's never been this quiet.
It's amazing how much abuse your character takes when you're gone, when you're not at the table.
Can't do
Anyway, they know they can't do the mission stuff, so they need to figure out what to do. They need to take time, but they're not sure how much time they can be allowed. And Fern comes up with an idea. They can always go to her Nana Mori's. After all, as an as like a arch hack or something like that, she can actually control how much time go by real world as they compared to how much time they spend in the Fey realm. We know she has the ability to bend time like that because of she, despite not having always like taking care of a firm for how many years? I'm not sure. She like it seemed like actually like 120 years went by. Like she can has the ability to choose how much time is stretched. Uh, they need time to come to terms with what happened and to reconnect with the group, and this does actually seem the best part. Also, I think Fern really needs to be with her a parental character stuff, like to help calm her down. I think she just wants to go there, or just for the fact of it's a safe space for her, to her. They one thing they discuss is one thing Ashton mentions like one thing. One of Ashton's problems is that well, for people to like themselves, must have to start liking themselves before they can really like others. And Ashton doesn't like himself. Now the question is, how do they get to Nanamoris in the Feywild? Last time they visited the Ligament Manor, they had plane rider Ren bring them there. But they need to. But one of their goals on this mission is to try to retrieve plane rider Ren and restore them. I forget if the plane rider is male or female or what they identify as. They said they could probably to ask Alora or Kiki to send them there. Uh, Lana then shows Ashton the doll she made and gives it to him and said, "You're a child. Children have dolls." As I said, Fern really needs to go to Mori for guidance. And she says what he did was and they point out what he did wasn't dumb; it was more misguided. There's a fine line between them, though. And then Lana asks, "Where's the spark?" Lana actually asks where the spark is, and Imogen says, "I'm not telling." Is it? And Lana, after a second, says, "Good." Mm. She gives him the doll. Ashton does give a promise to stay and work for his forgiveness. When, and they have this kind of group hug moment.
So cold last night.
I go hug her again.
I'll hug Ashton. Or
And I grab Fern by her amazing tits and pull her.
Ashton.
Just grab your tits. Come here.
It's like a slinky dog. Yeah.
They decide what they want to do while they're at Maury's. And F.C.G is all for getting group activities and team building things. Stuff to help them reconnect to the regime. They go and ask Laura to say not only does she agree, because of nature's spell and her own curiosities, hearing how Fern's relationship with this legendary Fey entity, she knows so much. She just will be going with them.
Not this one.
Okay.
Inside check. I wanna actually just want to talk to her in her head.
Okay.
Who you look uncomfortable.
She responds while looking right at Fern and smiling. Your friend's Nana is one of, I would say, notorious figures in the Fey realm. But if indeed they are an ally, strange bedfellows and the like, I suppose.
Oh, I don't know why you're staring at me.
I'm just admiring your confidence.
Oh,
You're radiant this morning, and given the last time that I saw you, I'm happy to see that you are of more delightful disposition.
I'm perfectly fine.
Delightful disposition.
Yeah.
double D.
Golden arches.
Very well. Allow.
If they kind of joke about giving Laudna and Imogen the honeymoon suite or something like that. They talk about this. They're waiting. They go meet. She's like currently in the library looking for herself. She goes make preparations. Action would like to find a book on getting forgiveness, but I think he remembers he can't read. Action does give his actual apology. He says he's gonna try to be a better friend and he won't be anything more stupid. He said that someone says that goodness does not always lead to good. Like just because they had good intention does not mean that things will end up all right. He is kind of upset that how much he upset Fern because she's the only one in the group he really understands. Fern is still mad and just it doesn't like Ashton right now. Laura returns with her Feywild attuned uh, attunement rod. She asks for something maybe more specific to the Ligament Manor so they could get closer. Well, friends that as they have it there, they said they have Fern and stuff, but then Fern remember she pulls out a flower from there. They quickly get Orm. Uh,
And then releases it, and it kind of just stays floating in front. She then takes
Hang on.
you, the staff kind of nestled into the crook of her arm, takes Orm's hand. Mutters an incantation in her breath. Prun planas tenor.
We did.
The books all seem to stretch and fold in on you like this canopy dome. It's
Oh man, what a stretch! Something nobody's gonna get. I don't even get it.
no.
How about you actually get that one?
Oh my
Yeah.
Oh, son. They arrive just outside of Ligament Manor. This rabbit-like entity who apparently doesn't have eyes just notices them hop like when they enter the place, hop up and just uh, sort of jumps into Fern's arms. Kind of cute. Though it's a little off-putting considering its teeth seem to move like fingers. As they go, they can hear a conversation off, and they hear a familiar voice, especially familiar to Fern, her mother Birdie. Because Maury is kind of reclining in something, and she's somewhat bandaged. So clearly, that fight that during the last visit left its mark on her for. They've mentioned what she's been doing, and says, "Oh, she said watching someone fail."
This like big blonde, like summer golden curly hair that comes down to about the shoulders with long ears. This like fey elf figure who is currently giving a presentation. It looks like in like a grand fey cathedral-like hall with rows of youth students, and you see them like going through a book that suddenly is. It looks like they're like just a moment. I know it was here a moment ago. And you see Hannah Moore just.
Who's that?
Very traveler.
This is a Vitorin. He ringed on a deal many years ago, so every now and then I like to tune in and just mess with him.
Must couldn't have been that big of a deal though. If you're only doing minor
And it passes
stuff on him.
time.
She reclines a bit further. And Birdie's like, well, welcome everybody. It's so
Yeah, can't have been that serious of a deal if this is all Fae are notoriously vicious to those who break packs with them. Barry talks about talking about how they kind of had to abandon this what they call the split highway where the telescope thing was, which doesn't even work now that Ira stole the crown. They kind of knew there's going to be coming under have visitors on the stage, so they buried it to leave no trace. Alora, in the presence of Mort, is kind of terrified, which, considering how powerful her castle is saying something.
But we have to get back, so... this is our friend Alora.
It's like the head goes, like E.T. stretches past you.
Your friend.
Yes.
And you see Alora just kind of clutching the staff. Hello, I'm Arcanist Alora Visorin of the Taldore Council and Arcana Pansophical. I have many powerful friends who know where I am and will come looking for me if I vanish.
Pleasure to meet you, Alora. I know who she is.
Oh, okay. She knew who you were too, which I thought was so weird.
Well, if she's a friend of my Fern, of course you can stay.
Alora goes, very well. I guess I'll just... You show me my chambers later, then.
You want a drink, Laura?
No. Yes.
Two questions, Nanamori, if you don't mind.
Oh my God! Sorry.
You're capable. When we want to go back, you can do it in a way that we won't lose any time, right?
Oh, yes. I should be healthy enough to aid in your return, if that's what you're curious about.
Yeah.
But while we're here, we really need to do some team building. So, can you help me come up with a scavenger hunt?
Is this a retreat?
Yes, it is.
But if something where we have to work together and really rely on each
Her
other.
cackle like
got her
echoes
going.
through the entire house.
I take 2
The
points.
entire tree. It kind of shakes with her laughter, and you see Allura just go, like hand up. You can see a field of like appear to protect her.
This excites me.
Yeah. Well, anyway. She used what was showing the legends to show images of Rudis there in the sky. Like they show the images of the Maskey and the ruddy bridge, the bloody bridge. Also the images of the nexus points of the ley lines, which, while still holding position, are sort of being stretched on the in corner, are seemingly stretching upward and stuff like at the points. And you can see there is definitely a strain on them. And Namor reveals that she can sort of touch the strings of fate and feel Puck here there. Not like real full control, but give suggestions here and there. She does say that some of the more finer threads, including the more fine ones, only can be tweaked by the Raven Queen Patrol. she mentions how she's been keeping an eye on Fern's fate, and her fate is in flux right now. It could go many ways. And she mentioned something about for this is understandable considering her true heritage. True heritage, question mark. Also, she's wondering if they might be approaching the end of their string. Question mark. Let's see. She said she first saw a bad version of herself. Well, she doesn't want to become this fully evil person. Uh, and Maury says that not. Then she tells that not all secrets are hers to give, to reveal. And she mentions how Birdie has been keeping a secret from her, too, and it's probably best to talk to her right now. They kind of ask her what Morty's thoughts on the Ravenclaw are. And she kind of they're both aware of each other, but she can't do anything to Raven. But while in there in Ligmander, the Raven can't touch her either. They kind of they're not really fond of each other, but they got mutual respect. She finds that the Raven Queen is complicated. There's an understanding between the two of them. Mm-hmm. Talking, and the way she keeps, then she kind of gets mentions how she sort of has a deal with that paladin of Asmodeus and said, "I thought I smelled sulfur." Yeah. At one point, she mentions that she's just like her mother. So clearly, in the next episode, there's going to be some revelations about her and stuff. But that's 2 weeks away, at least. But she does get warned: beware of her for these types of deals. The deals that are often made with those of the hells often don't go in your favor. What the? Oh God! Sorry. Someone was cooking downstairs, cooking a pizza downstairs, and a little bit fell onto the oven bottom and burned, set off the smoke alarm. Where was I? Ah, yes. Sounds like a make it there. She warns them that Asmodeus and his followers have had eons of practice making deals. Ollie then comes down, hugs her and stuff. F.C.G continues talking about to Nanamori about making a scavenger hunt. They talk about maybe having. They talk about him like like they do say like he's a, but they want him to participate. So he has a Nanamori. Hey, if after he's done signing up, she could wipe his mind of where he hid the stuff so he can participate. She's surprised. She's kind of surprised with this because this is the first time anyone has come and deliberately asked for that. Like, usually that sort of thing is what she gets in payment. She payment like the deleting a memory or something. If she come and ask, is unusual for her. They wonder if she's ever done that with her. And Fred says, no, I don't think so. No, I don't remember ever having my memory wiped. Anyway, uh, Chetney does his Hunter band and check them on to make sure she is definitely got a Fae feel, not like me, fiendish or something else. And uh, and Matt says that not only does she feel Fae, but she kind of feels specifically like dirty Fae. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think it's probably not what you first thought of, and if it was that, shame on you. And and after that, the episode comes to an end. And with that, I end this recap with an unveiling of my new subclass, freshly homebrewed. And since I knew, as I said, I knew Ashton would be a focus of this episode, so I specifically went with Barbarian. And I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to use Barbarian or another a certain class for the Mortal Kombat because both could fit. But then I remembered that Ashton be a focus, so I went with with the Barbarian for this. And I forgot to add an extended description. Oops. Path. This is the path of the vindicted. Uh, this is the one who thrives on retaliations and stuff. Vengeance. Uh, you have the things list. I gotta go back and re-edit like the actual class subclass description. But the features are rapid retaliation, violent payback, otherworldly retribution, and spite of the fallen. At rapid retaliation at level 3, while you rage, all these I think maybe the last one maybe not. I didn't think I added it, but at least but most of these you have to be raging to use to gain the benefits. While you rage, the number of reactions you have is now equal to your total HP divided by your current HP. um, rounded down to this thing. Uh, like if you have like uh, 64 health and you took 40 points of damage and are at 16, you'd still have one reaction. Um, However, if you're 64 and then you get 32 or below, you would then have you would then have two reactions per turn while you rage. Now there are more limits to this, like the numbers of reactions you have in total cannot exceed your proficiency bonus. In addition, you also get a new form of use for reactions. Uh, uh, you can make a attack of retaliation, which is like attack of opportunity, where whenever you receive damage by you are damaged by another creature, you use a reaction to make one melee strike against them. Or that you make one attack against them. Uh, uh, a attack of retaliation cannot be triggered by damage that has already triggered another attack of retaliation. At level 6, you get Violent Payback. When you hit a creature who when you hit a creature who's has damaged you since the start of your last turn with an attack, you can deal extra damage equal to a number of d4s equal to your charisma modifier. I was going to make it con, but that's usually pretty high, and I wanted a little bit more balance. This this also had equal precedence, equal number of d4s, and this extra damage can either be fire damage or cold damage. If fire, all preceding attacks uh, uh, until the start of your next turn has a +1 bonus. I will say that this does not stack. Neither of these abilities stack like and repeat. Your I'll have to go in and re-edit, uh, but 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 a creature can only you can the extra effects do not stack. Um, the, anyway, all the damage has a +1 bonus to any one type of damage. If it's cold damage, their speed is half to the start of next turn. Oh, this extra damage, like +1, it is only until the start of your next turn too. Don't want to make it too powerful. Now, otherworldly retribution. While you rage, despite the normal limitations of barbarian, you can now actually cast spells. Specifically, you can now know all you now can use any spell that with a casting time of one reaction. And you you know you know every reaction spell that is less than or equal to your proficiency bonus. Mm. And can cast any and the number of spells you can cast per rage is equal to the is basically you have a number you is equal to is a number the number of spells you can cast per rage is their combined level of the spells cast. Can up to your proficiency, a bonus plus your constitution modifier. Constitution is your spell casting modifier, and you can't cast a spell as a reaction to something which you've already used a reaction to cast a spell to. Same rules as attacks of retaliation. Finally, at level 14, when a creature drops you to 0 HP, you can use your action before going unconscious to have this one. I guess I think I meant to make it raging, but since you're going down and you be out of your rage, I decided you actually have to be as a you uh you can use your action to have the creatures remaining HP. All the creatures' saving throws are at disadvantage, and all attacks against them are at advantage. That's what it's supposed to say while your HP is at 0. You can use this feature once per long rest, and a creature cannot be affected by this feature again until it finishes a long rest. Meaning, if you have two vindictive barbarians, if one does one and is reduced to half, then does the other, it is immune to the second one's effect. And with that, my recap is done. I thank you for joining me. This is Free Narrator Mention. I wish thee good fortune in the quest of life.